Hey guys, welcome to Pulled Pin Productions, the show that teaches you filmmaking tricks. I'm your host, Matthew Grover, awesome director, sweet cinematographer, and amazing filmmaker. This week I am joined by
John from the YouTube channel JP Tech.
Link down in the description. And today we will be comparing my Panasonic G7 versus
my GoPro Hero 7 Black. Today we have both of the cameras in front of us here, and as we will be talking about them, we'll be cutting in between the two so you get a good comparison.
And we will also, throughout the video, have different B-roll and different shots as we're talking about the camera, so you can get a really good sense of what each camera is like. So we'll start with my camera. My camera is the Panasonic G7, which is like the little brother to the Panasonic GH5, which is an amazing camera in its own right. So the Panasonic G7 is a very impressive camera. It shoots 4K 24 and 30 frames per second and full 1080p HD video at 60 frames per second. Now for a lot of people, they might want that extra resolution at a higher frame rate, but for my needs when it comes to filmmaking, 24 frames per second is almost all I shoot in, maybe sometimes 30 frames per second, but I never really have a need for 60 frames per second. This is an interchangeable lens camera, so you can use a wide variety of different Panasonic or other lenses. I have a couple Olympus telephoto lenses. Basically anything that will fit a micro four thirds camera will fit on this camera. This camera is very similar yet very different from its bigger brother, the GH5 or even the GH5S. Those two cameras are amazing cameras. They're about as close to a cinema camera as you can get without being an actual cinema camera. There are two places where this camera does fall short, and its low light capabilities and its color science. Because this is only a micro four thirds camera, it's not going to have the best low light capabilities. It's not going to have the same low light capabilities as, say, the A7S or even a full frame sensor on like a Canon DSLR. But the extra resolution that you get can make up for that a little bit. Just keep that in mind though, that it's not going to be great in low light. And the other area that it falls short in is its color science. It is only an 8-bit 420 sensor, so when you're doing advanced color grading in post-production, you're not going to have as much room to play around with as if, say, you were using the Panasonic GH5S, which is 422 10-bit. Now, for most people, that's not going to be a huge deal, but if you did want to use this camera in a professional setting, that is also something to keep in mind, that it's not going to have the greatest color abilities.
And on the side of the GoPro Hero 7 Black, it can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, so you can get that real smooth video when you're out doing some action, such as mountain biking. Also, it can shoot up to 240 frames per second at 1080p, so that allows for really good quality slow motion video. Other positives of the GoPro is that it's waterproof up to 33 meters, I believe, or is it 33 feet? Can't remember, but it's waterproof. So you don't really have to worry about it getting damaged by rain or anything when you're out doing activities. Also, when it is very small, so it's easy to carry. But some downsides are that it is not really prone to very many accessories, such as different lenses. Obviously, you cannot put different lenses on it or do any real big attachments such as microphones. Although they do sell some small ones, it is nothing compared to, a full video camera. It is more made for action video circumstances. Other kind of pros and cons are with the angle that you shoot at, like wide angle. Wide angle is really nice as you can get a wide amount of things in your frame. However, it can be annoying when in 4K you cannot shoot in linear. You must shoot in wide angle, so it gives you kind of a fisheye look even when you would want it to be just a regular video. So that is kind of annoying. Another thing that is a downside would be the battery life. Battery life is pretty abysmal. You maybe get a half hour of battery life before you need to charge it. But what I do if I'm doing a longer shoot is I take a portable charger and plug it in while it's sitting on the tripod, tape the portable charger to the tripod, and I have no problems that way. But overall, I really enjoy the camera. I also forgot to mention that it has the hyper smooth stabilization, which is built in. They call it the gimbal killer, and it really does almost kill a gimbal. I mean, as you'll see in some of the B-roll footage, the footage is very smooth and has little jitter even when moving at high speeds. So I would definitely recommend this camera if you're looking for a camera where you don't have to do a lot to make it work. You just kind of can point and shoot and get a pretty good quality video, and also very smooth video for anything you're doing with action.
Yeah, and I would recommend the Panasonic G7 for maybe your first camera when you're getting into filmmaking. The GoPro Hero 7 is an amazing camera, but this will give you just a little bit more flexibility when you're trying to work in a more professional environment, or when you're trying to increase your abilities and learn more. This is a great beginner camera, and both of these cameras are just amazing cameras.
Alright, it's been JP Tech and Pulled Pin Productions here. We'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please check me out in the description below, subscribe to both our channels, and thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe.